Hello children, I hope you all are doing great. Today I am here again with another topic from your discourse writing or creative writing, that's nothing but letter writing. So today we will learn the details of writing a letter, types of letter, structure of letter, and how should we present that in a better way in our exams. So this question is asked as a major discourse question that is given for 10 marks or 12 marks in your examination. So kindly concentrate on all the details that is mentioned to you. So by the end of this video, you will better know how to present a letter in your examinations. Okay. So let's begin with the first details. So what is letter? Letter is generally a written piece of information that is exchanged between two parties. Okay. It can be two people as well as two parties. So how can we write this letter? It needs to be presented in a certain way, right? So when you are writing to your friend, it need not be much neat, and also certain spellings and everything can be avoided. It can be ungrammatical as well. So the friendly letters can be having some kind of excuses, but when you're writing it for a special purpose or an official cause, you need to follow certain guidelines. For everything to be good and well placed and well mannered, you have to go through these details, children. So what are they? So when you're writing a letter, you have to be mindful of writing the heading and then the greetings and whatever is coming, like the content, and then leave taking, superscription, subscription, everything. These details we'll look into when we are discussing further about the structure. So when you're presenting these letters, children, you have to take care about the presentation first. So how you present your letter in your exam is very, very important. You have to take care of each and every detail that is clearly mentioned, and it has to be properly mentioned. Okay. So when you're starting, first always mention the heading, then you give your salutations, then you start your content, and then the next details will follow. Finally, the concluding lines and then leave taking, in these all details must be given properly. So you have to take care of the details that I am going to explain you people. So today we are going to discuss now one letter after the other letter. So first we'll start with the informal letter, then we'll discuss the formal letter. Okay. So now let's get into the details, children. So children, now let's discuss about the outline of the formal or friendly or social letter. So this is generally a friendly letter, children. So when you are writing this letter, you have to remember that the conversation or the message that you are writing can be very formal. You have to keep it simple, easily understood, need not follow any grammatical rules. If in case you are writing any spelling mistakes also, it is permissible. Why? Because you are writing it to your friends or the people you know or you want to keep in touch with. So this letter has no much big rules and regulations, only that if you are writing content, if it is too long, you can split it up into different paragraphs. So I'll tell you how to start with. So let's begin with the first details in first place. So here first we have to start with place and date. Okay. So you can write it to the right corner of this letter when you are writing it, or else if you keep it to left also, no problem. So here this becomes the heading of the letter. So what is this? Place and date. This becomes the heading of the letter, the first part of your structure. Okay, structure of this the outline of this letter that you are writing. Then you have to give your salutation or greeting to the person. So when you are writing this, children, you know you generally write dear friend or dear your friend's name directly. So don't write dear friend and then your friend's name. So if you mention dear friend, it's fine, or else directly you can write dear and your friend's name. Remember this, and after this you have to put a comma here, and then you begin with your content. So the content or the main message that is conveyed is the essence of the letter. Okay, this is the main part of your letter. How you write is very, very important, children. So you have to again split this up into 3 paragraphs. How and why? If you are writing everything in one big long paragraph, it may be confusing. So you can just write it up in 3 paragraphs. The first paragraph will generally have all the questions about your whereabouts, how are you, and all different kinds of questions you want to inquire and ask. You can put them in whereabouts. Then you can go into your main content that you want to discuss, or you want to give advice, or you want to discuss about something, everything you can put it in your second paragraph, and then finally it can be the last paragraph which concludes. Okay, so that can be somewhat like conveying regards or conveying your love, saying regards, something that you can say and stop this letter finally. And you may also ask them to write a reply letter, so you can say that I'll be waiting for your reply and all, so in your last lines of this letter. So remember, this is a major portion that you have actually putting your life and writing. You want other person to understand your intention, so keep this one very clear. Then after that you are going to write the subscription. So this is first one and this is the second one. Okay, very very important. And third one is subscription, conclusion or leave taking. So this becomes the other important major part. So here I told you, you're going to conclude the lines and all, so that is here. And then you're going to write your name, or you can do your signature. This is the fourth part here, very very important one. You have to write your name, right children? When you are writing a letter, the person who is receiving the letter should know who has written this one. So that is very very important. And here what will you write? Subscription or leave taking. That's also very very important. For friends, generally you use the words like your friend, or your loving friend, or yours affectionately, or yours lovingly, like this. Okay, and your sincerely also you can write, and you have to put comma here children. For everything you will add yours here in the third place. Subscription it is. And then signature or name, that's your wish. You can write a nickname or any name that you are familiar with that person. Okay, so this includes in subscription. These things are coming. Sincerely, don't get confused, this comes only with friends. And then the next important thing is the fifth one. What is that? Subscription on the envelope. What is this? So don't get confused, this is of course your to address. So there must be a to address written, right children? When you are taking so much of time to write a letter and you want to send it to someone, so write this details perfectly in the sense every detail. Name, if you want to send it exactly to the person, name, father's names or care of address and everything, the post box number, the pin number, nearby landmarks, if you want to mention, everything must be clearly mentioned, of course with the state and pin number, postal index number and all. You mention all those things clearly. And then of course children, every student try to make mistake here. Please don't get confused. You are not supposed to write apostrophe here. When you're writing that, it's a big blunder. It's only YOURS. Don't put that, never ever. So yours lovingly, yours friendly, yours affectionately, your loving friend, all these things come for your friendly letters when you're writing it to your friend. When you're writing it to your brother or sister, you can again change these things. Your loving brother, your affectionately, something, whatever, according to the relationship that you share with the person you are writing this letter, you can keep changing these things. Okay, and remember children, heading, salutations, and then content, and then subscription, these things are the major parts generally where you need to focus on. If these things will fall into the exact place where they should be, think that you have your marks with you. Okay, so this is the outline that you need to follow, and we'll also look into some details and some letters, so then you will understand the letter in detail. Okay, so let's now look into the examples. Children, now let us look into some examples wherein we can learn how to write a friendly letter. Already you have gone through this sort of questions in your exams in previous classes and all, but you are also familiar, I know that very well, and you are great champs in writing them. but just following some more guidelines, like how we have to start it, how we have to carry it forward, and then how you have to end it, makes you a better writer. Okay, so follow these rules. You already know that it's a piece of information, just as I mentioned, shared between two parties or people. So here, when you're writing informal letters, remember that you're writing it to your friend or someone very close to you. So as I discussed with you, here the usage of sentences is up to you. Whatever you can and you want, you can write it in that way. And grammatical mistakes and all these things can be neglected for some time. We need not concentrate much on that. Usage of language, or if you are very close to that person, you can use your own friendly language. Okay, like that, in a much more friendlier way, you can write this letter. And then remember how you have to write the date and all. Remember the place and date must be written to the right of your paper, or you can even write it to your left, no problem. And then you have to start with dear and then write your friend's name. And then you have to go into the topic. As I told you, start with the beginning lines, like asking about the whereabouts. How are you? What are you doing? I hope everything is fine with you and your family, and it's nice to see you, find you with this letter, and all these things you can keep on mentioning, and then go into the topic, like why you have written this letter. That also, remember children, always the letters should have 3 paragraphs. First is always asking whereabouts and all, then go into the topic in the second paragraph. That also, if you want to keep it long, split it up into paragraphs again, the content. Then finally, the last paragraph will always be the concluding one, like conveying the regards. And also here you have the same one. See, so you're writing a letter to your friend here. So it's a reply letter. So your friend actually sent a birthday present, and then you are writing a reply letter after receiving the gift. So this is an exciting letter also. After seeing that, you can express your feelings, like how did you feel after seeing the gift that is sent by your friend and all. So you can write it in a better way, I guess. And then there is one more example. See here, to the right you can write the address there. Okay, then after that, to the left again, when you're starting, dear Maya or dear friend, anything you can write, and then you can start writing the letter. Here some examples are picked up from your book, so there are some minute mistakes, but you have to stick to the lines, like how I have explained. After date, you have to put a full stop. After place that is written before it, you have to put a comma. These conventions of writing are very, very important, children. Concentrate on them. When you're writing dear friend, after the name you have to put a comma, then start the topic, and leaving the space exactly from the margin. As I told you, every time when you're starting a paragraph, leave the space from the margin, and then you have to write it like this. These are all conventions of writing that you have to follow: the capitalization, full stops, and everything, the grammar, spelling, small things you need to take care. But you need not be so specialist in that. I told you, like friendly letters can be in a friendlier way, so we can avoid all those things, but presenting it in a good way is always advisable in exams. Okay, take care. And then you keep on expanding. Then finally you can conclude it, convey your regards and all, say your loving friend or yours affectionately or whatever, your friend, and all your sincerely also will comes with your friendly letters. Then end it, and then the address on the envelope, the superscription, that is very, very important. The address on the envelope is very important, children. To address, you have to write this. Everything that I have mentioned in the outline, like every subheads and heads, everything is getting one mark, so don't lose any of the marks. And then these are the important things that you have to concentrate on. How you are presenting is very important. Start your letter in a fresh page always, that is advisable. Don't continue it, don't let it continue it into the next page. Don't start your letter in the page where you are left only with half space. Don't do that. Write some answer there and get back to your new page, and start always in a new page, children. And of course remember yours. So when you're writing this, yours lovingly, or your loving friend. No apostrophe for that. Remember all these small details. This will give you a better way in the examiner's eye. So you know all these basic details, so the examiner will understand that this boy or a girl is a good way of, has a good way of presentation and all. They can understand that you have a good subject with you. So like this you are going to present your letters, children. Okay, practice with small topics first, then you can write any kind of questions that are asked in your exams. Okay children, thank you all.